Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Yolanda Melody. Today I want to talk about how to deal with haters, trolls, bullies, and people who are on the attack. I didn't plan this video, I didn't do any notes. This is all just gonna come from the heart because, let it be known, I have had a lifetime of experience with these types of people. So many experiences, and I want to provide some different advice, different from the norm, because what I do notice is typically people will say the same thing over and over, particularly when it comes to bullying. I'm sure everyone's heard this over and over again, that if you're getting bullied, what you need to do is ignore them. Just ignore them, and they'll go away, they'll get bored. And if you've tried this, you'll probably find that it doesn't work. What I'm going to explain in this video is the people who do give this advice do have the best intentions, but it is deeper than just ignoring someone. It's all about changing your perspective, understanding your own power, and understanding why these people are like this in the first place. So let's get into it. When it comes to anyone who is on the attack, what you need to understand first and foremost is that these people are demonically possessed. Anyone who gets themselves into a state whereby they are filled with rage or hatred or jealousy towards another person, they have become possessed by an entity that embodies that emotion. Whenever I get attacked by someone, whether it be on the internet or in person, the first thing that I do is I recognise that they are acting out of their own character, and that something that I do, say, or just the way that I am in general threatens them in some way. Now, if you are a really sweet, loving, kind person, you will aggravate demons. Demons don't like that. This is why people who are typically very nice and very kind get bullied. Let it be known that you are being tested. When I was younger and I got bullied in school, I did not have the confidence to stand my ground. And while a lot of people gave me the advice to just ignore them, my dad did give me the advice to punch them in the face. My dad was constantly telling me to fight back. Now, I never built the courage in school to actually fight back, and I tried the technique of just ignore them, and it got progressively worse because there were still elements that were missing when I was trying to ignore these bullies. When someone is demonically possessed and they're trying to get a rise out of you, they want you to participate. They want you to give them attention, and they can tell energetically exactly how you are feeling. So it never works to just try and ignore them if within your mind you are still paying attention, if it is still affecting you. It never works to simply fake it or pretend. If you want something to work, it has to be authentic, because energy doesn't lie. That's why when people give the advice in dating, for example, to women, and they say play hard to get, it doesn't work. Because a woman who is trying to play hard to get is not hard to get at all. They are pretending. They're pretending to not care. When a woman genuinely is hard to get, she's not playing a manipulative game. She genuinely has her own life, her own interests, and does not put other people on a pedestal, and she prioritizes her time. The same applies to the just ignore them technique. And this is where it gets difficult, because as a conscientious person, typically people who are kind and caring are constantly checking themselves. They're checking to see if they are wrong, if there's something wrong with them. So when they get bullied by someone, they pay attention to what these people are saying, and they check in with themselves to see if it's true. And over time, what this does is it chips away at your self-esteem. And then that's when they have you. You can physically pretend like you can't hear what they're saying, but if you're hearing it and you're internalizing it and you're getting affected by what this person's saying, like I say, energy doesn't lie. So what do? First, you have to completely and utterly understand the truth. That is, a person who is bullying someone is always weaker than the victim. A person who is strong and happy within themselves would never feel the need to bully another person. A lot of people who are victims of bullying believe that they're being bullied and that people pity them and look down on them. But if you actually look at situations, if someone pitied another person, they wouldn't feel the need to bully them. But if someone was threatened by another person, they could feel the need to bully them. If they felt sorry for you, they wouldn't bully you. So obviously, you have something that that person is definitely threatened by. Once you know this completely, you will then be able to elevate yourself out of the victim status and into a higher place where you are looking at the bully for what they are, which is an insecure person. Once you get to this stage, you most likely will actually pity them. And if someone that you pity criticizes you or attacks you, naturally you will not feel like anything that they say holds any weight. Any negative things that they say towards you, you will take it with a pinch of salt because you pity them. The things that they say will not tarnish your self-image. So that's the first step. Don't pretend to ignore them. Actually get it so that their words hold no value whatsoever. If you find that your focus is being pulled into what they're saying, pull it back, put your focus on yourself, and elevate your energy. But I understand that this alone sometimes isn't enough. The general rule when it comes to online trolling and cyberbullying is, yes, do not engage. Under any circumstances, never feed the trolls. That's something that I learned when I was really young, when I was put on hate websites and I engaged with all these trolls. In circumstances like that, they most definitely want attention. Don't give it to them. The next piece of advice that I would give is when someone is demonically possessed and they simply won't leave you alone, they just keep trying to chip away at you. In a lot of circumstances, the best thing to do is to try and take yourself out of the situation. Now, I understand that in a lot of circumstances that can't be done, or rather it seems very unfair that you feel the need that you have to exit the situation. For me, I dropped out of 3 schools, and some people may have looked at that and thought, oh, what a shame she had to drop out of 3 schools because of bullying. Dropping out of school for me was one of the best things that I did. The environment as a whole was completely toxic and was not benefiting me in the slightest. And the moment that I took myself out of school, I flourished. I've said this so many times, but I need to just say it in this video again. For anyone that's new, if you are on the righteous path, if you are being guided by God, sometimes an environment is not beneficial to you anyway. You might think that the job that you're in is definitely your path. You definitely need to stay in this job, and it's just a shame that this colleague is bullying you out of there. But sometimes you have to use your own discernment and think, is this actually steering me in a better direction? Am I supposed to leave this environment and go somewhere where a bigger, better opportunity will arise? For me, I can honestly say every single environment that I've went into where I've been harassed or attacked by someone, I look back and I think, I'm glad I left that environment. It was toxic, it was no good for me, and it led me to better places. And in general, day to day, say for example, if you're in the supermarket and there's some crazy person that just starts like verbally attacking you out of nowhere, what's the best thing to do in that situation? Walk away. Don't fight back and start shouting at them, because that could be exactly what they want. And God forbid if it ends up in a physical altercation, you will not be better off. So the best thing to do, remove yourself from the situation, because demons be everywhere. They just be floating around, hopping in people. Sometimes it's like playing a game of dodge the bullet. And now for my final technique, which should not be taken lightly. This is my last resort for if I need to fire a warning shot to someone. And this is all about energy manipulation, Some people might hear this technique and think, I'd caution against that, but I'm just gonna tell you anyway. One thing I've noticed with me is that I have the power to send out energy, and the majority of the time I'm sending out loving, positive energy. Naturally, I just want to be the life and soul of the party and raise the vibe. But every now and then I've been in a situation whereby someone has been repeatedly chipping away at me, usually at a workplace, and it's been going on for months and months, and the just ignore it technique and the rise above it technique just doesn't work. And I could actually tell you a story of how this worked. I saw evidence that this worked, but I won't go into it in this video. I can always tell the story if you want me to, but I'll just get to it. What I have done if someone is pushing me and has pushed me to the limit is I have internalized the energy that they are directing to me. And it's kind of hard to explain, but you can feel it. You feel this adrenaline. It's like, say for example, the colleague says something to you and it makes you feel like you're about to snap. What they've done is they've sent a dark energy to you. And that's why your adrenaline's going and you feel potentially like instant rage. Now obviously, I would never recommend to get into a physical altercation, and even at work, typically if you retaliate verbally, you're going to end up with problems. So what you do, you focus on the energy, the dark, the anger, the dark energy that they have sent you, and then you give them the look. I can't do the look because I'm not angry at you guys, but in the moment, you hone in, you focus, you give them that look as if to be like, don't mess with me. You only have to do this for a few seconds, and you don't have to say a single word. All you have to do is focus on them directly to the person, to the sender, and you send that energy back. Now, some people might say that this is witchcraft. I personally wouldn't classify it as witchcraft per se. I'd never promote witchcraft because I'm not going to go into it. But to me, this is all about energy. And sometimes you need to stand your ground. And you can stand your ground without saying a single word. And I personally do not believe that that in any way is evil. A lot of people have heard the phrase, turn the other cheek. If someone slaps you on one side, turn the other cheek for them to slap you on the other. I don't believe that that is what, if we're going to talk about Christianity here, I don't believe that that's what Jesus wanted you to do. I believe that you should protect yourself and don't be a doormat. No one is telling you to be a doormat. And I have been a doormat in the past, and it did me no good. But now that I stand up for myself, and now that I know my worth and I have the confidence, I am simply stronger. It hasn't made me turn into a horrible person. And I think a lot of nice people that get bullied are scared that if they stand up for themselves, they'll become like the bully. But there is a huge difference between lowering yourself to their level and simply standing up for yourself. I hope that this video could help even just one person who's suffering from haters, trolls, bullies, whatever. This is what's worked for me. I'm in a place now where I am on a high vibe and nobody is getting in the way of that. So I want to pass the torch and help other people do that as well. Comment below your thoughts, any stories that you have, whether you have some tips or things that could help people as well. Thank you so much to everybody who likes, comments, shares and subscribes. And thank you so much to every single person who donates to this channel. It really does help a great deal. And I'll see you in the next video. Love you, bye.